fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
All right, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight, it's the RGR Racing Winston Xfinity Series here live from Auto Club for the Auto Club 160. I'm Dean Doucette, joined tonight by Mr. Jared Carr. Jared, gonna be a good one, I think, tonight.
Yeah, we're in Southern California at the Auto Club Speedway, Dean, and it's hot out there. I mean, we are talking 85-degree air temp, 117-degree track temp. I mean, this is a scorcher. We're going to look for these guys to be moving all around this wide and fast 2-mile track out here in the desert.
Yeah, going to be interesting. I mean, all lines in play, and guys will be searching around looking for grip. It might not even be out there on the track. Who knows? Can't wait to see what happens here. Let's get a look in on our championship standings here. And you see Lance Ripka has moved back out front, in front of Austin Hunn by 4 points. Wrecker in third, Spear fourth, Bruce, Ratliff, Walker, Newton, Dibble, and Person in your top 10. Of course, last week, Ripka come and got that win, breaking the heart of Mr. Todd, the Toadman Gilly, Jared.
Yeah, and that was such a great race. I mean, shout out Jason Martin for stepping in there and stepping on the broadcast booth. Did a great job last week. But what a race. I mean, it comes down to it. Looks like the race is over, and Ripka's got his Todd Gilly's got his first win, and then it just gets snatched away there on the green-white checker. I think Todd Gilly's going to be pretty hungry to get in victory lane. Look out for him tonight, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great opportunity there for him to get his first one. He'll have others. Tonight may be his night. Right now, Jared, we will ask everybody to rise up out of their seats for the singing of the national anthem by the beautiful Alicia Shipman.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, everybody getting ready to go racing. Here we go. Everybody coming up, lining up, ready for the Auto Club 160. Jared, nothing like the old national anthem to get you prepared.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great job. I mean, she did such a great job for us many years ago, and glad to see it still being used out there as we get ready to get this race underway here in Auto Club.
Yeah, and a big shout out to the late Stephen Loomis, who brought us to Alicia Shipman to sing that. We certainly appreciate it. Right now, let's get into tonight's starting order. And it's relative newcomer Dustin Buck out on the point tonight with a time of 41.411. Very symmetrical time there. I like that. Greg Ratliff will be on the outside row number 1. It's Spear and Gay in row 2, or Spear and Beller. Gay in Person in row 3. Bruce and Ripka in row 4. You've got Dibble and Hund in row 5, and you can find your favorite driver here as we scroll through the list. Some notables there. Newton a little further back, and a couple other guys towards the back.
Yeah, I was looking at those guys that qualified. I mean, you're talking about Adam Newton toward the back of the field tonight, Dean, and then you also have, what about Mike McMillan starting 17th? We've got a couple other guys back at the back. Nicholas Godina, 35th. It's going to be tough for some of these guys to move forward. We'll have to see how they do.
Yeah, going to be a lot of work they got to do to get back up here and back in this thing, but the work begins now as they're coming out of 4, I believe. Yes, the pace car will pull off, and we're ready to go. Green flag racing. Buck leads them down. Ratliff on the outside.
We'll check up mid-pack, but everybody gets away pretty clean there as Buck leads him into turn 1.
Little move there. Looked like Beller sliding down to the inside line behind Spear. Spear with a good start here to the race. And I like what I've seen lately. He's been very racy early. He's fighting with Greg Ratliff. Person back here on the outside of William Gay. Beller going down the track right now.
Yeah, and we saw Beller. I mean, he's had some good runs, but hasn't had a lot to show for it since the opening week at Daytona. Dean, let's see what he can do tonight as they fan out 3 wide through the second turn 3 and 4, I should say. This is going to be a fun race, I can already tell.
Yeah, going to be a fun race.
Wall. Couldn't tell who that was. Sorry, Dean.
Missed who was in the wall. Maybe Seaman, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was Cale Seaman, the 66 machine.
So up front, Buck still leading. Person on the move on the outside. Here comes that 15 of Darren Bruce sliding up in front of Gay. So the 15 looks racy earlier. A little further back. Big battle back there. Looks right behind McMillan. You got Paul K, Mankowski, and Robinette go 3 wide. Looks like Paul K. Travis pulls out of that one. Always a good idea to pull out there, Jared.
You're not lying there. And Dustin Buck put his hand out the window and said, Greg, you can go ahead and take the lead here. I'm not going to try to race you this early. So put Greg Ratliff on the point here on lap number 3.
So Ratliff, while we're looking at that, goes up and takes the lead. Okay. Buck down to second. And Buck we've seen in a truck race, his first truck race. Very similar. Great qualifying. But a lot of these guys adapt at racing. Maybe not so adapt at qualifying. They push forward a bit. Now, Buck hung in there around the top 5, though, so expect him to do something similar here, Jared.
Yeah, and the other thing I'm watching is Bernard Person. You're talking about him running the high side. Well, Dean, he had a whale of a run off the bottom, or off the top off turn 2, and then he had to go to the bottom in 3 and 4. The car just doesn't look as hooked up there on the bottom of 3 and 4. Let's see what he can do on the bottom of 1 and 2 if he can get that run. He's edging ahead here, but looks like he is going to clear it, but Buck's going to have that momentum on the outside. No, he's going to drop to the bottom.
Yeah, Buck's going to fall in line there. You can see, so he did clear him. Now that low side can work. Oh, and Bruce is down the track. Not sure what happened with Bruce there, but he got shuffled out a little bit.
Yeah, that Jason Spear got off the wall there, was trying to make a move on Eric Beller, and didn't realize Bruce was there. He did apologize, so no harm, no foul there.
So it's interesting seeing that low line work for Person, who's now up into second, because I like the low line, Jared, but the low line, not always the most effective here at Auto Club.
Well, not anymore, right? I mean, now that we've got that dynamic track and now that the thing moves around a lot, you got all these cars, 36 cars out here tonight. If everybody's running the bottom, that bottom's going to heat up. You're going to lose grip. It's not going to be very easy to run down there as you see Eric Beller move around Dustin Buck there for 3rd place, and Bruce is under attack as well. So as this run goes on, Dean, I would think around lap 15, maybe lap 20, I think the high line's going to come in. These guys are going to have to move around at Auto Club. This track eats tires, and it heats up those grooves really quickly.
Well, very interesting here is going to be pit stops, Jared, sorry, and talking about like the runs and how to drive your car and tire saving. I mean, we could have pit stops on lap 20, right? 3 stops, 20, 40, 60. So that would almost negate any tire saving that you might want to do.
Bruce is attacking Eric Beller. At the same time, that's going on. Bernard Person looking on Greg Ratliff, he decided to back out there, put Bruce to third place, Dean. We got battles all over the place here.
Yeah, there are battles all through this field. Can't cover them all at once. It looked like Beller almost got the wall, but instead he gets a big run on Buck here, looking for fourth place.
But Dean, going back to what you said, I mean, I think you're exactly right. I mean, the pit stops are going to be crucial. Number one, because this is one of the harder pit roads to get on. It's very sharp. It's a very quick decline. So we got a battle for the lead as Bernard Persson looks underneath Greg Ratliff off too.
Yeah, he got a little loose there on exit, so that hurt the 8. Didn't quite carry the momentum, but he's still there. Down into 3, looking for the lead. It's Bernard Persson.
Yeah, I think Greg Ratliff did the same thing Dustin Buck did and said, hey, you know, I don't want to race this early. Darren Bruce is going to catch both of us. You go ahead and take it as Bernard Persson.
Oh, Ratliff
hits the wall.
Wow, the 5 hit the wall pretty significantly there. Looked like Bruce had to check up. This only helps Persson. I need some help, Jared.
Yeah, I'm not Barron, by the way.
Yeah, well, we'll get it right sooner or later, Jared.
I'm not as funny, you know. Barron's a funny guy.
I mean, Barron spent a lot of time with Barron, so it's hard to get him out of my mind, I'm looking at his poster right now in my room, and it's...
That makes a lot of sense. I understand. And by the way, Dean, speaking of Darren, he is moving up there trying to battle Bernard Persson for the lead. I mean, we've had already 3 different drivers leading this race, and we might have a 4th one, and we're not even in lap 10.
Yeah, it's getting crazy out there. I mean, and look for, as this run goes along a little bit, like I said, it could be really short runs, but look for Bernard Persson to move up the track. You're seeing it already. So Persson adapt at running the high line here. He'll get these big runs off the corner. He is going to be tough to pass. I think if you're going to pass him low, you'd have to do it in the first 5 laps.
Yeah, and the other thing too, Dean, is you're going to have to use the arrow to your advantage here. If Darren Bruce is going to run low, you got to run low too, and that's exactly what Bernard Persson did. Take the air off that front of that car, make him tighter behind you, make his tires heat up a lot quicker. You know what I mean? And then you move up when you start getting that gap going. As I lose my words, we had a 3-wide battle behind this. I thought we were going to have a little bit of an incident there, but everybody gets out of there good.
Sundays we both struggle, Jared. Still in recovery mode here. Ripka on the move here. Beller up on the high side. Buck still hanging in the top 5. Newton's right in this mix as well as Gay.
I'll tell you a guy I want to circle real quick, Dean. 10th place, Trent Robinette. He has moved up 12 spots into that 10th position, started 22nd. He is by far the biggest mover of this race, and he is still going. As a little contact mid-pack, it's the Bass Pro Shops car. I can't tell who that is.
That's Newton and Ripka there got together.
And Ripka, yeah.
So a little trouble off the turn there. They get it sorted out. I'd say
Robinette,
no.
He's going to move forward again. He's going to get underneath Jason Spear here. He is moving forward, Dean.
He definitely is, and up front, Bruce still working on Persson, still trying the low line, and he still can't quite get it done here. I told you, that 8 car moves up the track. He is tough to beat.
Yeah, and Darren is wrapping that white line. Greg Ratliff is wrapping that white line. Bernard Person's running about a line off of that right now in 3 and 4, and then he's just kind of forcing Darren Bruce to put his car in a position he doesn't really want to be in. Because as you go down further on the track, you're putting more heat in that right front. And the more heat you have in that right front, you're going to induce that tightness. And here's Darren Bruce again. He gets alongside, but he just can't get the run because he knows Bernard Person's there. But he actually has a pretty good run here.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good here. Don't know if he'll get it done quite yet. We go on board here with the 5 of Greg Ratliff.
You see out front of Greg Ratliff there. I mean, there is all kinds of battles all over the track, but he's got a front row seat for what's going on here.
Yeah, the battle remains. It's exactly the same. Bruce may be faster, but being faster does not mean you can pass, Jared.
Exactly right. We're on board with that Ratliff machine here into turn number 1, and he's going to run this middle groove right there on the seam. And then he's going to cut down toward that white line, and he's going to just drive straight off. This is my preferred technique. I think it's your preferred technique. We're gonna have
it is, and he takes the lead as he did that very well. You're right though, Jared. That is the preferred line. I mean, that's what I want to run. Matter of fact, I'm going to go a little deeper and cut it a little sharper even than that. But Darren Bruce doing it very, very well. Look a little further back. Buck in fourth, hanging tough. I like the 53. He has found his way here on this bit of a longer run here. Beller in fifth. It's Ripka in sixth with Newton, Gay, Robinette, and Spear. And you're right, Robinette, man, he is up 13 spots right now.
Yeah, he's been working that high side, really working this track in. But this has been some great racing and big battle here for looks like fifth position as Buckshot Ripka under attack from Adam Newton, and Beller is in this as well.
Yeah, behind them, Spear and Wrecker and Gay are going at it. Lots of battles here. That's Robinette and Spear, my bad.
And Adam Wrecker is also in there in the 44 machine, or the 11 machine. Two wide battling behind there. We got J-Man Mankowski back here. Austin Hunt, he started 10th. He's kind of fallen back, Dane, up back to 15th position. As we look through the field, also George Dibble started inside the top 10. His first top 10 start of the year. He had that podium finish a couple weeks ago at Phoenix. He's dropped back to 19th position. The battle's all over this track, Dean. You could go through the whole 36-car field and find one.
Yeah, it's crazy what's going on. Up around Mankowski, getting real nutty. We jump on board with Mankowski right now.
Yeah, John, he's doing a great job on the outside there, running that second seam. And you just see he gets those right side or left side tires right on that black seam and just lets the car go.
Oh, he's in the wall!
Hard hit.
So he
And
shoots
fast.
a 95, a Hun down the track.
Yeah, that was and then also Klaus Williams in the 16 had to take evasive action. Luckily, no caution there, but that's a pretty big impact there.
Yeah, that was a hard lick there for Mankowski. We've seen it live. Right now, Bruce leading. Ratliff has gotten by Person, so Person not working out. And this is very interesting because now that I think about it, I ran some practice here, Jared. Very opposite to what we're used to. The high line got too tight to run. You had to move down the track instead of up the track. So this is interesting, and we're seeing it now. Person trying to adjust, trying to run the low line instead of the high line. He can't do it, as well. He probably prefers that high line.
Yeah, and you see, I wondered, Dean, how hard. Oh, Buck!
Oh no! It bucks around, and Person's in it. Damage out on the track. That's a tight car. Oh, and he gets creamed by Tony Ratliff. Oh, and the 14 gets involved. The guys are still piling up out there. What are they doing? My goodness.
This wreck was over, and then it just started another one. Oh, my goodness. Ratliff, hard impact. George Dibble tried to avoid that as well. Nowhere to go. He got damaged. Then there was a secondary wreck further back. The Bernard Person gets destroyed.
You
by
see
the
the
21
carnage here.
machine.
We're on board with Hardy as he zigs through and cannot zag, though. Someone cleans his clock up.
Man, oh, man.
This was a crazy, crazy wreck, taking out a ton of cars. Let's look at it here again as they come in and see the secondary part of this wreck. You see the 64 zigging and zagging, and he gets the 91. Wow, that's Thomas Wolfe, who got the Barbie car there getting all lit up.
Yeah, it seems like the spotters were asleep on the spotter stand there, Dean, with these secondary accidents. But going back to that initial accident, this is one of my least favorite things that I ever see happen. Two guys battling, and they get like what I call net code hooked together, and then they can't separate, and then they wreck. And it's just really unfortunate when that happens. I think that wreck was completely avoidable, but just they net coded together, and then it's over from there.
Yeah, it looks like that car on the 53 just would not turn into the corner. He keeps coming up. Person's night might be over along with his. Everybody in pitting now, so all the front comers or front runners are coming onto pit road.
Well, this changes the complexion of the race, right? And Robinette misses his pit stall. He's been the big mover, and he missed his stall. He's still having trouble getting in his stall, Dean. This is going to cost him so many spots.
So Robinette back there in the one, and you can see the crew members there seem to be arguing with each other.
Yeah, which tire is supposed to go on which side? I don't know.
Off of pit road, it's Bruce first, Ratliff, Beller, Newton, Ripka, your top 5.
Yeah, and Dean, you know, you were talking about lap 20. Did you have a premonition we were going to have a caution around that time?
I got my magic 8 ball. It answers all my questions.
Are you a winner?
Absolutely.
Oh, there we go. There we go. But, you know, that caution probably came at a good time. I think that, you know, we're talking about 75% fuel. That's something this league does do. So you're talking, you know, normally you go about 40 laps. So by my math, I think that's 30 laps that you can do on fuel thereabouts on a normal, like in this race. That my Canadian math might be off. So
no, it's about right. I had it written down as 29 to 32. So if you're saving a bit, maybe 32, Jared.
Exactly. So that caution came at a good stop. And now these guys, they got 60 laps to go, 55 probably by the time they really get going here. So we're still looking at about a 2-stop race or 1-stop race in this event. So going to be interesting to see how they split this thing up. I think this is right at the stage break as well.
It really is because, you know, and now it becomes not necessarily a fuel mileage race, but a full fuel run race. 30 and 30, right. So going to be a little different here. Guys have learned a lot here during this first run, Jared. I mean, the tightness in these machines, I cannot overstate in practice how tight this car gets. It is miraculous. It starts out loose. It wants to snap off the corner. Later in the run, gets extremely tight. Anybody trying to throttle up, like we just seen out of Buck, I believe, you know, trying to hold on to the throttle a bit, the car just will not turn no matter how much you try to coax it.
Yeah, you really got to be on it. You got to use the track. You got to use the track. And the more this track heats up, especially in this hot track, this is 105 track temp. It is going down quite a bit. So that is good as we move into the afternoon hours. But at the same time, you got to get away from those seated areas of the track, got to move around, got to find the grip. And we were seeing guys doing that. And you know, Bernard Person was one of those guys that was doing it, just got caught up in, you know, some bad luck there. And now you look at this race and the whole complexion's changed. You know, you got some comers and goers, some guys that were moving forward that had bad pit stops, guys that got on and off pit road really good. I mean, Adam Newton, great pit stop from him. He's up to 4th place. I'm excited to see what these guys can do here.
Yeah, it's wild. It's going to be a wild one. We check in on the Toad Man, Todd Gilly. He's got some fans out there. Todd currently up 9 spots into 14th, so far so good for the 19. Behind him, you got Rincone's up 10. And how about Schrader? Schrader in 13th. He's picked up 13 spots here, Jared.
Yeah, he's doing good. You got Daryl Whitford up 16 spots. Mike Brown up 12. Thomas Wolf up 12. A lot of newcomers out here tonight, Dean, but a lot of guys moving forward. As you see, Robinette has actually come back on pit road. So I don't know, maybe he is going to top off here after that bad pit stop. We got Dibble with damage. He's a lap down. Herbert with damage. He's a lap down. Tony Ratliff is 2 laps down with damage. Right now I see that Whiting, Hardy, Buck, and Person are out.
Brandon Bass looks like he's out as well.
So there you go.
Very interesting. And how about this Barbie car? What do you think of this?
You know, we're I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. I was trying to make a movie joke, but
I mean, I think the Barbie car is all right to run these days. Back in my day, I'm not so sure, Jared.
Hey, you never know. You never know, but you know, it's not bad. I mean, I guess.
I mean,
whatever
sharp-looking paint job. I mean,
I like cars that stand out, so I can't complain too much.
Well, I have a little Barbie prostitute doll here, but that's another story.
Oh, man.
Here we go. Bruce and Ratliff up front. Beller and Newton in row 2. Bruce, another good start. Beller going to follow him right on through.
Yeah, a little check up in the middle of the field, but Darren Bruce, great restart. He gets out ahead really quickly. Beller to 2nd, Ratliff 3rd. Buckshot Ripka in 4th right now, but battling with Adam Newton, who did not get going very well, Dean.
Yeah, Newton fell off a little bit there. He's going to allow Ripka to come underneath. And you remember now that low side comes in later, which is really weird. Sure, it doesn't fit what you're thinking, Jared. I mean, usually that high side you can run late.
Yeah, and I think it's going to change. We got, we had that caution. The track's going to cool off a little bit. The rubber's going to get cleaned off a little bit there. So I think you're going to see these guys head back to the low side for a little bit here.
Well, track already cooling down from practice, right? It was right about 130 in practice, currently at 107.
107, and we look ahead on the weather, Dean, and we're looking at cloud cover coming in here. Winds changing direction here in the next 8 minutes. So I'm looking at the end of this race. We could be down the 90s on track temperature.
All right, we'll wait and see what happens with that. It's George Rincon here. He's moving up, and he's up to 17th. Behind him, Alland, Walker the second, and Fred Lester, last week's pole sitter here in the 78 machine. He's back in 20th. Mickey Spear, Whitford, and then Robinette's in a cluster of cars here.
Big battles, and we got some guys out in the chat. We had Nicholas Godina. I think he's in the race, but he said good luck, have fun. We got Scott Olson watching from sunny Florida. I believe he's maybe on vacation this week or something. I don't see him in the race. And then we have Subi Drifts and Dan Gilly all saying, Dean, we love it. So it's going to be a lot of guys out in the chat giving us some love.
All right. Well, Olson over there, don't drink too many Mai Tais out there. So famously, Scott, not a big fan of the seafood, stuck down there in Florida. What do you think he should be eating, Jared?
If you don't like seafood, I mean, who doesn't like seafood? Seafood, eat
well,
food.
Scott Olson doesn't particularly like it.
Seafood, eat food.
Big battles around the track here. Looks like Paul K. Travis just slid in front of a Hund there, or a Wrecker, sorry, as I get them mixed up a little bit. Adam Wrecker in the 11 on the high side here, trying to make that work. Up front, Bruce walking away a bit. Ratliff in a battle. Beller trying to make a move.
What I'm really surprised is how single file this got. A lot of guys just kind of conserving their stuff. I think they saw, what their cars were doing. That maybe they feel like they overdrove the first run. They're like, whoa, I don't want to do that.
Well, I think it's a product
of,
sorry to interrupt, Jared. I think it's a product of when the caution came out. Lap 20, they're thinking, okay, I got to do a full fuel run this time. You think it was tight last run. Wait till this run.
Yeah, and I think that these guys are learning more and more about this track, and that's what makes the racing really good. Is you see Newton on the outside of Beller there in big battle there. That's about for third and fourth position.
So Newton swings around. He's in third. He's up 8 spots right now. Looking racy here. And let's hop on board with Newton and just see if he's running this more traditional line that we talk about. And you see there, he cuts down to the bottom, trying to get that straighter exit.
Yeah, and the other thing you're going to watch here on board, look how bumpy this back straightaway is. This is very wavy. You definitely feel it in the wheel. I mean, you're bouncing off the throttle. Lets that car roll down to the white line right there. You see Greg Ratliff, he actually gets to the white line, which I like a little bit more. Then he's opening that wheel up right there, Dean. Gets out to the blue wall, not the black wall, and right back to the start-finish line again.
Yeah, nice job there. I think all these guys at the front doing a nice job. You see here, driving in a little deeper, a little higher. I'd like to see it even a little higher than that, Jared.
Yeah, you got to enter right against that wall coming into turn 1. But I do like the way he's cutting down to that white line in 1 and 2. Get down there, use that paint. That paint is the slickest part on this track. And once you get tight, you got to use that paint. And right here, he actually opened it up really good, had a good run there, and had to check up to not run over Greg Ratliff there.
Yeah, Newton's looking good out there. A little further back, Paul K. Travis and Austin Hund doing battle here.
Yeah, I was watching this battle before we switched up there, and you got Klaus Williams. We haven't talked a lot about him this year, Dean. He's having probably one of his best runs that I can think of this year so far, up there in 11th place, looking on the outside in that 16 machine.
Well, Claus is a winner over in the Truck Series, and touch of the wall there from Hun. But Claus Williams, known to be very good race car driver, perhaps in this series not having the best of luck yet, but a danger to win any race.
Yeah, it's only his second start of the year, so he's really focused on that Truck Series championship. So he's just running part-time, it looks like, in the Xfinity Series, but having a good run here. Battle in front of him, though, I'm really liking Austin Hun. We've talked about him a few times this year, Dean. He's moving up.
Yeah, Austin Hun with the NOS machine, and he's been very good this season. He's in a battle with Paul K. Travis. Travis tight off the corner, pushing up ever so slightly, and he gets in front of Hun.
Yeah, you got to remember, Hund is second place in points. He's only 3 points behind Ripka. So, I mean, this is, he's needing every point he can get here already this early part in the season. Austin Williams working that outside. Go ahead, Dean.
Mankowski trying to shoot the middle a little bit there. As they fan out in that corner, looks like they're 3 wide. They're really not, Jared. I mean, you can see that with 4 or 5 cars even when they fan out like that.
Yeah, and that just goes to show you just exactly how much different area you can run. You don't have to run right on the wall. You don't have to run right on the white line. You can run the third lane. You can run the second lane. You can run right on the groove. You can run right off the groove. So, I mean, there's a lot of different options here at Auto Club.
Yeah, and I love that. We've got different abilities here these days. You can move around the track a lot more than you once could. It's really made for some great racing.
Yeah, and right there, I was watching George Leal. He's kind of moved up a little bit in 3 and 4, and he's actually making up a little bit of time on the guys in front of him. He was actually the fastest car on the track last time by. Let's see what it is this time by. Leal does a 2.63, so he actually lost a little bit of time, but he had been moving forward pretty good.
We hop on board with George Leal right now to see what we're dealing with. It's a pretty good line out of 2.
Yeah, and again, going down that back straightaway, very bumpy. Let's see where he lets off here. He does drive it in deep. He does turn it in deep, but he's running right down on that groove, Dean. He's getting the right sides right on that seam. Well, Jared, and he's letting the car open up.
I'm going to tell you a little secret of mine anyway in 3 and 4. And this is true on many tracks. If you let off where he did or earlier, that car will not turn. You drive it under full throttle to the bottom before you let off, the car will go right where you want it to go.
You're exactly right there, Dean, and I think that's what he was trying to do, but also you don't want to be right behind somebody because it's just going to take the air off the nose and make you tighter down there as well. So I think he's maybe trying to feel out that extra second groove there.
Absolutely. Ripka just got the wall off of 2 here. Looks like he's all right, but that too, I mean, if you come out of that corner early, Jared, she'll get tight on you. And man, oh man, if you're not willing to lift, and I mean a lot, you're going into the wall.
Absolutely. So it's really down to who can manage those tires. And Dean, I want to report Bernard Person, he got his damage fixed, so he's back out there 15 laps down. So he's just trying to salvage some points here tonight.
Yeah, Person looking to get a little more racy out there, and he is not going to be happy about tonight. I bet you he thought he had a winning car as well. The 99 up into the wall there. I don't know if that's Mankowski there, so that might be the 93. Looks like 99 to me.
Yeah, it was the 93. Barely got the wall, but I think that might have been a little bit of a connection wall hit because I did not see it on my end. I have seen some guys getting up in there looking like they hit the wall and actually never did hit the wall. So it's a little awkward visual effect.
And right there behind him, Robinette looking to make up his lost time from pit road here. He comes right to the bumper of Mankowski looking to sweep in. With him, the Smashburger, Mike McMillan looking to pounce as well. So big battle back here for about 14th, 13th, 15th. One of those, Jared.
Yeah, George Ricon, he had to get out of the gas. I think he got a little tight, and he got engulfed by the guys behind him as Robinette went by him. The 78 of Fred Lester, we haven't talked a lot about him. Mike McMillan back here, Dean. I'm a little bit surprised. I thought Mike would move forward. He's had some great runs all year, but not tonight. He's just not jiving with this track.
Well, in traffic, right? I mean, I think he needs more time yet to decide whether he's moving or not, but he is searching. I mean, you see him way up on the high side here. there's so many cars in front of him, he's got nowhere to go, so he's just letting that thing rotate. Here comes Michael Walker the second, though.
Yeah, and looking right there, Robinette's going to go underneath Mankowski. Tried to, couldn't do it. He had to back out a little bit earlier, but he's going to get this run right in the center of the corner here. George Rahn, he's holding off on the outside as well. So these guys starting to feel this track out, and Robinette's going to have to move back to the high side to close off for Rahn.
Yeah, very interesting racing here. Back up front, Darren Bruce, now about 3/4 of a second in front of Greg Ratliff, Adam Newton, Beller, and Ripka.
And Dean, we were talking about it earlier, about you said somewhere 29 to 32 laps. So you got to look at this race, and I think we went back to green, if I'm not mistaken, on lap 22. So I know what you're going to say. You're going to say split this thing in half. And I'm going to say stay out a little bit longer on the first stint.
Well, I mean, from what we're seeing, Jared, yeah, I will disagree with you because, I mean, we're seeing passing being very tough late in the run. Do you really want to stay out longer and give up track position?
I think you need that tire advantage. The arrow is so locked on these cars nowadays, it makes it really hard to pass. You have to have some sort of advantage. And I think you just got to stay out just a little bit longer than the guy you're battling and try to make a move on the track late in the run.
So what I usually say in that case, Jared, is I would say instead of staying out 1 lap or 2 laps, let's stay out 5 laps longer. If we want an advantage, let's have an advantage, right?
100%. 100%. But we'll see what they do. I mean, it's going to be the thing we're going to be talking about here is we're 2 laps from halfway here.
Yep, 2 laps from halfway. Darren Bruce, your leader. Ratliff, Newton, Beller, Ripka, your top 5. Jason Spear, all alone out here. Solid run for the 83 and 6. Gay doing nice in 7th. George Leal having himself a good night. Let's focus on George a little bit.
Yeah, you look at George. I mean, he's coming into this race, Dean, 25th in points. He had a 7th place finish at Phoenix, but otherwise he's had a 34th place last week at Bristol. He missed a race, and he had a 33rd at Daytona. So it hasn't been the year that I think he's wanted, but, you know, a top 10, Dean, we've talked about before, you get a good run, it just starts building and building and building, and I think that's what he's trying to do here.
Absolutely. Adam Recker back in 10th. He's up 3 spots. Recker's been solid, and we'll see where he finishes up. Paul K. Travis up here. He's up 8 spots. Cale Seaman back in 13th. So Seaman's having himself a nice night. And then it's Gilly, fan favorite, the Toad Man, up to 14th. Now, he's been around this area for a while now. What's he got to do here, Jared, to move forward?
I mean, I think he has been doing everything he needs to do. He's been conserving his tires. He's been picking his moves. I've been kind of watching this battle the entire time. And I really think that he's got the car to kind of push his way through this pack if he's just patient.
So we're right on board with the Toad Man here. Right behind Cale Seaman. In front of him, you got Hund back there. And Travis, so there's battling up here. I do like what I'm seeing. It's pretty calm wheel. He looks like he's just waiting out this run, Jared.
Yeah, we got a lot of Kailu Glass fans out here in the chat. Subi Drift's out here smoking some big Kailu with the boys. So, you know, a lot of Todd Gilly fans out here, Dean.
I can only handle the one hitter there, Jared. The bong's too much for me.
Yeah, but Todd Gilly, he's looking underneath. I mean, he's doing a good job underneath Austin Hund here. And this is a big battle for him as he's looking. I mean, he's smelling the top 10 here in a few laps.
Yeah, he's looking good. I mean, Hund's struggling a little bit for what we're used to seeing out of the NOS machine. He's gone tight, I think. So Gilly's going to take that spot. So did Seaman. Put them up to 12th and 13th. Klaus Williams, trouble. The car is damaged. What's happened to Klaus?
I think, Dean, he smashed the wall off the corner. He did. He got up into the wall, and then the wall glue got him. He tried to get off of it, got in the side of the 11 machine. Lucky we didn't have a big wreck there. Klaus, a good job holding on to that thing.
Yeah,
that's going to cost him.
I cannot get a replay on that for now, so actually maybe I can. Let's get a look in and see if we can find out what happened to Klaus Williams.
He's on the road too.
So we see here, he coming into the corner, and he's just tight, and he hits the wall, comes down, hits Wrecker, goes back into the wall, and just slowly takes her off the track. That is just, you have to be willing to completely get out of the throttle, maybe even brake, Jared. When that thing is at that close, heading to the wall, that tight, I'm telling you, it is impossible to stop it.
Absolutely, and again, good. Oh, we got yellow. We got a yellow.
Oh, late yellow on the track. It's Michael Ware. Michael Ware off the track. So the 75 looking damaged. Not sure what happened. Let's get a look in on it.
A little contact happened.
So him and the 54. Ooh, and I don't know who got who there. So it just looked like the 54 wasn't turning in, and the 75 thought he was, so he came down, and that's your wreck right there. That's unfortunate for Michael Ware.
Well, I'll tell you, this is going to change it again, because now these guys, they don't have to make a green flag stop. They are good to go. Well, actually, no, they're not. This is going to turn this race into a fuel mileage race, Dean.
Yeah, 35 to go right now. Couple laps into caution. Look for guys to come in and pit stop and then come back in to top up if they're at the back end of the field. This is really going to be interesting. You can save a lot here, Jared, if you just let out halfway down the straightaway and coast that thing in there. I mean, even clutch it. You can really make a lot of fuel mileage here.
Yeah, I think that is going to be really. I think you have to top off, but it's going to be. There's going to be some guys that's going to play this just right. I have a couple circled in my head that are going to be guys that you're going to see saving right off the bat. But this is going to make this race a little bit more on the fuel mileage side. So I'm going to be interested to see how this turns out.
Yeah, super interesting here. Everybody coming in. Let's ride on board with Trent Robinette here and see. I'm sure he's highly focused on getting that thing in correctly this time.
He gave up he gained 12 spots before the caution, and he lost 16 positions on pit road. So we don't want that again.
You see there, all is well for Robinette.
Just looking up and down pit road, everybody getting in pretty cleanly.
Pit lane exit here. We await the first car to come out. And it looks like Bruce, another great stop. Bruce known for these stops. Newton might have got second over Ratliff. Great job by Newton. Beller, Ripka, Spear, Wrecker, Travis, George Leal, and the Toad Man up to 10th.
Yeah, looking down through the list, some good pit stops from Adam Newton. Good pit stops from Jason Spear. Paul K. Travis with a good stop. Michael Walker gained a bunch of spots on pit road. Very good stop. And Dean, I think Mike Brown may have taken 2 tires. Very quick stop from him. He was involved in that wreck, but I don't think he got any damage out of it. But only a 36-second pit stop. I mean, that smells like a 2-tire stop to me, but he gained a bunch of time.
All right, pit road, ultra important. We see it week in, week out here.
We got a couple guys getting some damage repaired. Godina, who is involved in that first wreck. Stevie Knight on pit road getting damage fixed. James Herbert on pit road getting damage fixed. As is Klaus Williams, Michael Ware, Eric Whiting, and Nathan Hardy, all getting damage repaired right now from earlier wrecks.
Very unfortunate for a lot of these guys. You see Person back out on the track trying to get work done when he comes in and trying to pick up some spots. Out front, though, Darren Bruce, going to be tough to beat here tonight.
And this is the kind of track Darren really does really well on, right? It's a track that is fast. It's a track that wears tires, eats tires up. And that's the kind of things that he's very good at doing. He's very good at these big tracks. He's very good about conserving his tires, and he's very good about managing his pace. He's not worried about anybody else around him. He's going to run his pace and get where he needs to be at, and really does a good job with that.
Looking on Ken Holland here. We haven't talked much about him. He's up 11. Right in front of him, Thomas Wolfe. That is the Barbie car. So Thomas Wolfe, that beautiful pink paint job out there, he's up 21 spots here tonight, Jared.
He is, and I think we got somebody joining us in the box. Scott Olson up in here now, Dean.
Uh-oh,
Hey,
Scott
guys,
Olson out
how's it
on
going?
vacation, perhaps drunk. I'm not sure. How we doing, Scott?
Nah, we're doing okay. I just wanted to give you guys a shout out. Your broadcast looks great, man, and I'm enjoying the race. I'm looking forward to be back here in a week, maybe 2. And but for right now, we're just putting some sand between our toes and enjoying the good life.
Absolutely love it as we go back. Green flag racing. Bruce and Newton up front. Beller and Ratliff in row 2. Ripka and Spear in 3. And you see Spear latch on to the back of Greg Ratliff there, trying to give him a push.
Yeah, great job by Beller on that restart there, Dean. And always good to have Scott Olson up in the booth for a little bit here as he's enjoying that vacation. Hope to see him back out soon.
Absolutely.
As we got
Scott,
paddle off turn 2.
how are we doing down there on the beach? How's the weather, my friend?
The weather's great, 72, sunny today, and I was thinking about possibly figuring out how to get on here tonight, but I figured I'd let Newton go for the win tonight. I'm rooting for Newton.
All right, rooting for Newton sounds like a T-shirt. I like it. We check in on Adam Newton. Rooting for Newton, Jared.
And Adam's doing a great job. And this is another track, he's a guy that, he does really good on those short tracks. And conserving tires is important on short tracks as it is here. And he is doing really well holding off Lance Ripka. Didn't get a good restart, but he's been able to make a move forward up in here to second place, right behind Darren Bruce coming off turn 2 here.
Yeah, these guys get pretty much single file here. Look back to George Leal, and there's the Toad Man into the top 10. The 19, after almost winning last week, putting this car back in the top 10. He's becoming quite racy, Jared.
Well, you talk about it all the time, Dean, and we kind of talked about it with George Leal earlier, right? You have a good finish, you build that confidence, and all of a sudden, you get another good result, and then you just have that confidence to be there. And he is really showing some racingness tonight, doing a really good job, running a different line than these other guys and getting a good run off turn 2 here. But Robinette's strong on the bottom.
Yeah, Trent Robinette's been making moves. Looks like Lester way down the track. Not sure what happened there, but Robinette has been really tough, and he looks underneath Gilly. I think he's going to take that spot away here. In front of him, though, you have Wrecker and Leal, nowhere to go for the 1.
And there's a big battle in here. I mean, we got three
and
wide.
he's gonna go.
We got Robinette.
I said
down
nowhere
to
to go. I didn't figure off the track, Jared.
They're going 3 wide.
So
Robinette slides it down in there.
What a move. The 1 car not to be held up. He is coming. Now picks off the 97 of Leal. So the 1 coming in a hurry.
Yeah, and that made Adam Wrecker get out of the gas. That's going to open the door for Todd Gilly to move by him on the outside. Cale Seaman trying to take advantage as well. And Michael Walker.
So with Robinette coming quickly here, does that bring up any memories at all, Scott?
No, it just looks like this might be a lot of fun out here. We got guys going by under white lines and making some pretty brave moves.
Absolutely we do. Paul K. Travis just set his fastest lap of the race. So the 13 coming hard here. Spear back leading the group. He's in 7th. Robinette has made his way up to his bumper.
And Dean, hats off to Paul K. Travis. I mean, he has come into this race tonight 29th in points, best finish of 12th place at Phoenix a couple weeks ago. Running in 6th place. I mean, that is a great run for that 88 machine. Good to see him up front. He's looking racy, Dean. I think he wants more than just 6th.
Yeah, I think he does. I mean, Paul K. he's capable of it, right? He hasn't had the best of luck, and maybe the odd track he hasn't liked as much as others, but the 88 can get up here and win. He can race with the best of them.
And they're all stacking up front behind Darren Bruce. Nobody's wanting to pass him. They're kind of running a pace, I think, Dean. Maybe saving that gas already as Greg Ratliff underneath Ripka for 3rd.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here. I mean, we're looking at 27 laps to go at the line. That's a long way to go on fuel. who can do it, who can't, and if you can't, when do you pit?
Well, I don't
mean,
think
we're talking
you,
about a 15 or 16 lap run, Jared.
the way this race has been going, it seems like anytime you need to pit, there's been a caution. So maybe you gamble on that.
Well, maybe. It looked like Newton got a little loose there on his entry, and that's going to bring Ratliff around him. So Ratliff looking for second here.
Yeah, and Ratliff got loose off the exit of turn number 2 as well, but it didn't deter him as he looks underneath Newton. Newton's got to power back on the outside here, though, and try to pinch him down there.
You look at this shot of all these cars running the static.
Oh, he's in the wall. Newton's in the wall. Newton is in the wall hard.
Oh,
Newton has hit the wall, and he is falling back. Let's get a replay on that and see what happened.
I think on that note, fellas, I think it's time. I think it's beer 30.
Well, we appreciate you joining us up here, Scott, and look forward to seeing you back out next week.
Yeah, Scott. Hey,
yeah,
thanks
I don't
for
think
stopping
it won't be
brother.
next week. I'll be back. I think sometime around. I don't know.
2025. It's
Well, there you
enjoy
go.
in Florida. Enjoy yourself, Scott. Thanks for stopping by. Can't wait to see you, buddy.
No problem, fellas. Take care, and good luck to everybody out there tonight.
So you seen there, Newton was just loose a couple of times. He came down, got into Ratliff, or vice versa. It's all on how you look at it. But that sent him up to the wall. So perhaps pushing that car a little beyond what it's capable of. Just couldn't handle it.
Yeah, that little incident actually brought everybody, the top 6, kind of back together. I mean, we got Ratliff right there. We got Eric Beller back in the mix. Paul K. Travis is in the mix. Trent Robinette is in the mix now. So this is going to be a 6-way battle for the lead.
Let's talk a little bit about Beller here, Jared. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
Eric,
cut you off there.
Yeah, you segued right perfectly to where I was going. I mean, Eric Beller, Dean, he had that incredible finish at Daytona. Where he finished third by surviving that, or won the race by avoiding that the lap wreck. Then he followed it up. It looked like at Vegas he was going to be the car to beat. He led 4 laps early in that race and ended up getting involved in a wreck. Had a bad pit entry. Got caught up in some other things. He did recover and get that 7th place finish last week at Bristol. But Dean, this is one of his best races we've seen out of this 4-car so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an up and down season. There was some great highs for sure for the 4. This could be another one. He looks good. Right behind these guys, Robinette continuing his march to the front. He starts to work on Paul K. Travis.
And Robinette has really been the guy so far. But there's been a lot of guys. And indeed, don't look now. Todd the Toadman Gilly is underneath Jason Spear right behind this battle. So we got battles all over the track as Travis gets a little loose on the outside.
Oh, and Seaman got loose underneath of the 19 of Todd Gilly. So the car is going away a little bit here and there. Guys are fighting for all they're worth. 23 to go. Darren Bruce, your race leader. Ratliff second. Ripka third. Beller, Paul K. Travis, and Robinette, who's still working on him here. He doesn't know where to go. Jared, how does he make a move on one of these guys?
Well, he's going to have to rip the wall. I mean, he's going to have to rip the wall if he really wants to get by these guys, in my opinion. And I don't know if he wants to do that yet because you're going to burn more gas.
When I see him a lot of time getting down low in 1 trying to make the pass, I don't think it's, as the run goes on, that's a tough place to get it done. I think 3 and 4 may be a little easier.
Exactly right. And you see Paul K. Travis, he went to the outside of Beller in 1 and 2, and he's going to get that position, Dean.
Yeah,
Put Paul K. Travis into the 4th position.
Out of your mouth, right to his steering wheel, rip the outside. I mean, not quite what you said. You said rip the wall, but the outside will work for now.
Right now, Dean, I'm watching this race, and I think there's about, I would say this top 6 group, any of these guys, and then you throw in Jason Spear, Todd Gilly, I think any of those guys could win this race, Dean. That's what we're looking at right now.
We definitely are, but we're forgetting fuel mileage might be a factor, and the master is Jason Spear sitting in 7th, nice and comfortable. Let's hop on board and see if we can't find out anything.
Hey, listen, on board, as he comes off turn 4 here, So very slow, very gentle off the corner. That could be a handling, saving the tire as well. Let's see. He's kind of running the high line on the straightaway, so that's not going to help his fuel mileage too much. He does let off early on the clutch, Dean. He is on the clutch, and then he gets off the clutch, and he's back on the gas, so he is saving a little bit.
So
Down the
he
back
is
straightaway.
saving here. We're riding on still. I mean, he's out a little early here, but it's not super saving. He's not doing anything crazy here.
Yeah, 3 and 4, he definitely, entering 3, he definitely did not let off very early. 1, he definitely did. He cut the engine for sure for a second. But maybe he decided that wasn't a good idea. I'm not sure. Let's see if he does it again. Yeah, that's early. That's early for turn 1.
Okay, so he's definitely saving, just choosing where and how he does it, wherever the car will work a little bit better. But the good thing about it is he's also maintaining position while he does this.
Absolutely, doing a great job. It doesn't really have a lot of threat. He is pulling ahead of that second group that he was a part of, Michael Walker, in this battle as well. But
Thomas Wolf just got shuffled out. And the Toad Man also, he slid back to 15th. What happened to the Toad Man?
he's 3 wide right now.
I mean, he was up to 9th at one point. Now back in 13th. I think there was some form of incident there, some kind of checkup. Sent him back a bit, but he's still looking good. Car looks good. Wrecker, though, driving right around him on the high side. Wow.
Yeah, Dan, I'm going back through. It looks like that he just, I wonder if he looked at the gas gauge and was like, I can't make this. There's no incident over the last 5 laps when he was behind Jason Spear. So I think maybe he looked at the gas gauge as like, I need to save more fuel.
Well, let's hop on board and see if that's in fact what's going on. 18 to go. He looks tight coming out to the wall there, heading down into 1.
Listening on board. He is letting off early.
I mean, that's not extreme saving, though, I'm hearing.
No,
We'll
it's
ride
not.
into 3 and see.
Yeah, it's not extreme at all. Yeah, didn't hear much there.
No, I'm not seeing any real gas mileage situations. So the 19, perhaps a little too racy, too early. The car tightening up. He's falling back. Bruce out front. Ratliff second. Ripka third. Beller fourth. Paul K. Travis in fifth. And then Robinette. Remember, Robinette had to come through a bunch in the field, so he might be getting tight as well. And then you got Spear, who possibly is saving. Definitely is trying to save. 16 to go. It's going to get interesting.
Yeah, looking down the lap times, the fastest car on the track is Cale Seaman, Dean, in 9th place. He was the fastest driver that last time by, so he has got a little bit in the tank maybe there to move forward. We'll see what the laps are this time around as they come across the line.
You see lots of guys, lots of different possibilities. Hun, Lester back here, Wrecker, Ken Allen. Allen's up 14 spots. Haven't given him any airtime. How about him?
Yeah, Ken Allen doing a really good job. I mean, he started back in 29th position, and he's a conservative racer, Dean. I mean, he doesn't really put himself in a bad spot. Just kind of goes out there, does his business, and ends up with a decent finish at the end of the day. He's had a couple of those already this year, and looking for another one, maybe sniffing the top 10.
Yeah, looking good here for Allen. Out front, Bruce still leading. Ratliff chasing. Bruce starting to walk away a bit. Let's hop on board with him and see if he's saving it all.
Well, Dean, I don't hear any lifting off turn 1. Is he going to go underneath Mickey Spear, put Mickey Spear a lap down?
What I
He
like
is
when I see
conservative
that
off-
is that late exit, Jared. I love
Yeah.
it in 2.
Yeah, he's very conservative on throttle off exit. There's no saving there in turn 3 for sure.
No saving coming from him, so we'll see if he can make it or he's just said to heck with it. And 14 to go. I mean, anybody who's gonna stop should be in now. And Robinette, I love it. Trent Robinette, right on my thought, has come in to pit road. Why not? I mean, if you're gonna pit.
Yeah, if you can't make it and you know you can't make it, don't stay out any longer than you have to. You're going to lose time. So come in now, get your fuel, get back out there. Look at these lap times. I mean, we heard Jason Spear. He was really the only guy that sounded like he was lifting early.
Beller making a move for second. He comes underneath the Ratliff. So the 4 late in this run making his move. He's trying to slide up. No room. Looked like Ratliff had to check up a little bit and make some room for him.
Big gaggle back here, but with Austin Hund in it. We also have George Leal, Cale Seaman, Adam Recker. Big battle back here from about 8th all the way back to 16th.
Yeah, that group led by the NOS machine of Austin Hund. George Leal to the bottom, George Leal on the top. Recker goes to the bottom. Here comes William Gay making a late charge in this race, and Lester right here in the group.
Yeah, big battling there. Recker on the outside. Gay's going to look underneath of him.
And I just seen a puff of smoke come out there. I don't know if they hit some dirt, some of that dry stuff out on the track. I don't know, Jared. Speedy dry, maybe.
Speedy dry from that wreck earlier, yeah. Well, we're at 12 to go, Dean, and right now Robinette's the only taker to get to pit road.
Well, I like what he did. This will be a net win for Robinette, who's absolutely flying around the track. But I don't think it's a race-winning move because you're going to have several cars make it here, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Somebody's going to save this thing. If it's not Darren Bruce, I mean, Jason Spear looks like it could be a guy that's saved enough. But, man, I don't know.
I don't know either. Going to be hard to tell. Michael Walker the second going on the high side around the 81. It's a lap car there. That's Mickey Spear he's going around. Robinette just set his fastest lap of the race, a 41.05 to Bruce's 42.94. Almost 2 seconds. Wow, and he's just driving around Ratliff coming up on Beller.
That's the fastest lap of the race, actually. So, I mean, he is flying, and he has to. You don't save tires, and this is just, oh, my goodness, Beller
closing him off temporarily there. And he's just running his line. I mean, those cars are so tight, you can't really vary your line a whole lot. But look at him fly. My goodness.
Yeah, nothing Beller did wrong there, but I think Robinette thought he could sneak underneath there, and it just wasn't going to happen.
The good thing here, Jared, is he's going to be back on the lead lap, I believe, with this move. So that should put him back on the lead lap.
Yeah, so if he's gaining 2 seconds a lap, and he is 20 to 40 seconds behind.
Yeah, the math ain't going to work. But
no, it's not looking great.
It's not looking great. But he's going to come through several people. I mean, we look back at Mark Schrader. Schrader's 10 seconds back in 20th. So put Robinette around here, plus all the guys who still have to pit. It's going to get interesting. I mean,
Mankowski's on pit road, too.
Okay, Mankowski's in. All right. So, John Mankowski, like I said, I like the call. These guys who are going to run it dry, they're only hoping for a caution. So, I don't agree with that. As you can see with Robinette, he's already on the lead lap. I mean, from that earlier decision. So, it's interesting nonetheless. 3 wide back here. Recker, Gay, and Leal.
Yeah, they are battling hard for the back half of for the last spot in the top 10. Actually, Leo holding on to that spot right now. And there's Mickey Spear there. He is a lap down right now. The first car 1 lap down also in this mix.
Gay gets a big run on the outside, and he hits the wall, though. Lester pulls the car down, trying to go under him, but no, the wall did not hold Gay up very much at all.
Recker slides up in front of Gay, goes back to the bottom. George Leal trying to clear Mickey Spear there and just not able to get it done right now.
We're down to 7 to go, Jared. Darren Bruce still on the track, still leading. I'm not getting any hints of fuel concerns here. Ratliff fighting with Ripka. Ripka on the bottom just can't quite get it done yet. But I got to tell you, I practiced with Ripka last night a little bit. Very good on the long run. So expect him to be maybe the best car out there right now on the old stuff.
Yeah, what I really am watching, Dean, is Eric Beller's running Darren Bruce down. Does he have enough time, and does he have enough fuel is going to be the question. But he is gaining ever so slightly on Darren Bruce here. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens as this run goes on.
Well, we see here, we go up to Bruce, and we'll go Bruce back to Beller, and you can see the graph there. Lap 69, it was 0.93 seconds. Lap 74, 5 laps later, 0.34. Now, currently, 0.26, so he is coming.
Yeah, and again, does he have the fuel? And he is there. I don't think he's coming anymore. I think he's there.
Eric Beller on the march, looking to take over the race lead and steal this race away from Darren Bruce. I don't know how the university. How's Kentucky doing in the March Madness, Jared?
I don't want to talk about that, Dean.
Well, I shouldn't have brought it up. I'm sorry, Eric. I wasn't sure if it was them or Kansas, so bad there. But maybe this could make up for it a bit. Beller looking to put this car in victory lane.
Yeah, I've already rescinded my degree from the University of Kentucky. Yeah.
Oh, is that where you went to school, Jared?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I did, but I don't want the degree from it anymore. After that,
I don't want an association of any kind.
Exactly. Eric Beller's there, Dean. He is there. Big run down the back straightaway. Yeah. He's going to look inside into 3. Battle for the lead.
Beller down to the inside, looking for the race lead. The 15 on the high side, trying to hold him off. Pinches him down ever slightly and keeps the lead, I should say. You see Person going on to pit road there. What a battle up front.
He's going to have to run the high side, Dean. He's going to need to run the high side here in 1 and 2. Get that run off the corner. He doesn't. He's going to try to get him back, get momentum back. But he is so much faster through the center.
He is. We ride on the nose of Eric Beller here. We'll just see what kind of closing speed he has.
Now he needs to go high. Now, he's still not going.
And you can hear the pain from Mr. Carr. He's not liking what he's seen, but I got to tell you, that dirty air, it affects you here. There's a bubble. We're coming down to 2 to go. Darren Bruce, Eric Beller, fighting for the race win in the Auto Club 160. Battle for
huge.
Third as well.
Huge race here. Ratliff under attack from Ripka, watching that battle as well. Beller's got a good run here. He's going to get a good run off the corner.
I mean,
but he's going to have to run that high side, Dean. He has to run the high side.
Jared begging him to rip it around the wall. We'll see if Beller does it. Beller goes higher. Here he goes. Not on the wall, but higher.
Yeah, 3 and 4. That's a good line in 3 and 4. But you got to have to run that kind of. Oh, he's in the wall.
He's in the wall. He tried all he could, Jared. He pushed it to its limit, and it said no more than that. White flag comes out. It's Darren Bruce looking for the race win. Back in 3rd, Greg Ratliff trying to hold off Lance Ripka. Paul K. Travis back in 5th. Spear in 6th. Walker, Hun, Seaman, Wrecker, all but settled for your top 10. Real good battle for 10th with Leal and others. But up front, coming into the last corner for Eric Beller.
Beller. Oh, he's on the outside there. He's going to have to sling it here. He's got a lap car that might come and be an issue. He is. The lap car's going to kill him.
Big issue there. Shuts down Beller. Nothing the 125 could do. Darren Bruce going to come home and win the Auto Club 150. Beller will be 2nd. Ripka 3rd. Travis in 4th. And something happened to Greg Ratliff. Wow, he ran out of gas. Ratliff out of gas. Coasting to the line. Will come home beyond 20th.
Looks like he is. He's going to get about 18th, 19th.
Wow.
Barely beats Trent Robinette. So there you go. That was your strategy call right there. Running out of gas did in fact beat the guy that pitted.
Well, there you go. I mean, I'm not often right, Jared, so there you have it. The 15, though, Darren Bruce out here taking the race win. What a job he's done.
Wow, that was setting up to be a fantastic finish. It's just unfortunate timing there, catching the lap traffic. But man, hats off to Darren Bruce. He dominated this race. Great job by Eric Beller grabbing second. Buckshot Ripka, third place. Paul K. Travis, best run of the year in fourth position. And Jason Spear grabs a top 5 here tonight as well, Dean.
Yeah, Travis, good finish. Walker, the second. Solid finish there. Leal, Recker, Seaman, all in the top 10. Thomas Wolf puts the Barbie machine up in 12, so good one from him. And Kulikowski, never called on him tonight. Sorry about that, Adam, but down in 16th, picked off 13 spots. And the Toad Man, unfortunately, out of gas. He's getting a push to pit road here. He's coming in 17th.
Yeah, another guy, Daryl Whitford. He started dead last on the field, 39th. He finishes 15th. So great run for Daryl Whitford there. Greg Ratliff, we talked about him. Robinette, 19th, and George Ricon in 20th. That's your top 20. Godina, Adam Newton, he got in the wall earlier, finishes 22nd. William Gay, 23rd. Herbert, 24th, and Mickey Spear in 25th. So, Dean, what a race. I mean, what more could you ask for from Auto Club tonight?
I mean, it had a little bit of everything out here. I love it. I mean, the cars were a little tight, but the racing, Jared, the different lines, you had to adapt here tonight, and I love that.
And I think the guys that adapted the best were the guys that were up front, and you saw the guys moving around. I think, you look at some of these guys, you have to ask about what ifs. And you talk about Ab Newton. What if he didn't hit the wall? And what if Trent Robinette didn't run out of fuel? Man, it could have been. We had a really great race. And a lot of different things could happen, but Darren Bruce was the guy that got it.
Well, you had some early what ifs as well with like Buck and Bass, Person. So a few of those guys out early on in the race. All in all, a very entertaining night right now. Let's get into a commercial break. We'll come back. We'll get some interviews with these guys, including Darren Bruce. Rain in iRacing. Jared, what are your thoughts on the rain?
Well, I did the Sebring 12-hour this weekend, and most of it was in the rain, and I got to tell you, it was an experience.
Okay, an experience, folks. Write that down. You can apply your own meanings to that, but it's definitely interesting. I think it's very realistic. I'm not sure how that plays in a sim racing game, but definitely extremely realistic to me. But back to this race, a thrilling event here, Jared. Any other thoughts on what you've seen here tonight?
No, I think we had a lot of comers and goers, a lot of storylines here tonight at Auto Club, which I thought going in we were going to have, and you end up with Darren Bruce grabbing the victory, and a lot of guys getting great runs. I mean, with Paul K. Travis and Michael Walker, it's a great night to build momentum, and a lot of these guys did that, Dean.
Yeah, a lot of guys did do that. And let's get into some interviews. Jared, I believe you got our third place guy.
Yeah, I'm down here with our points leader coming out of this week and last week, Lance Buckshot Ripka, grabbing the last spot on the podium, third place here tonight. Lance, great run for you in the 52 machine.
Hey, thanks, man.
So let's talk about your race. I mean, you started it back there in kind of the back half of the top 10, back in 8th place. You moved forward, and it looked like out there it was really hard to pass after about 5 laps. Did you feel like the car was just a little bit too tight tonight, or were you just trying to find some room to move?
Yeah, that car definitely got really tight, and I was kind of waiting my time, hoping that others would overdrive the exit of the corner. It's getting really tight coming out of 4 if you didn't watch it. So, yeah, it was a pretty tight track most of the night.
And you talk about that race and waiting for things to come. Did you those cautions? We had a caution on lap 20. We had a caution on lap 40. Do you think those cautions kind of hurt your chances in the race, or did you feel like you needed a longer run to maybe get up there and battle with Darren Bruce and those guys?
I definitely needed a longer run. I think if we would had no cautions, or at least one of the cautions, I think I could have been up there battling Bruce a little bit, but he was fast all night, so I don't know. It would have been close. I would have had to beat him on pit road.
And it was a great job on pit road. Speaking of that, you got your team on and off pit road really good tonight. Talk about that battle at the end. There were 6 of you guys at the end there. You know, you're first off, were you trying to conserve fuel there after that last pit stop?
I was most definitely conserving fuel. I was happy where I was at, and was going to make sure that I had enough before I started running hard.
Well, you're under a blanket with Paul K. Travis, and Greg Ratliff was in there, and he ended up running out of fuel. Eric Beller was in there. I mean, that race was really looking like it was going to come down to you guys. Did you think that you had a little bit left in the tank that you could go up there and fight with Darren Bruce and those guys?
If I could have conserved a little bit quicker and had a better feeling for I was going to make it, I probably would have started my run a little bit sooner, but I ran out of fuel on the backstretch after the crossing the start-finish line, taking the checkers. So I guess where I finished is probably where I needed to finish.
Well, you maintained the point lead. You actually increased it. Austin Hunt finishing 7th tonight, so you increased that point lead over him. Next week we're looking into Richmond. I mean, is that a track that you're excited to go to, or you kind of looking maybe past that to somewhere like Martinsville or Texas?
Oh, I always enjoy Richmond. I feel I run pretty good there. I got a couple wins at that track, so I know I should be up there unless something happens, competing for a win.
Well, Lance, great job tonight. I'm going to turn the floor over to you and let you have the last word on your race tonight.
I just want to give a shout out to old Ripka Designs, Mission 22, Affordable Construction Service. You guys for putting on this broadcast. You guys do a great job. Everybody in the background that makes this league go, and hats off to the drivers tonight. They raced really well.
All right, Dean, that was our 3rd place finisher, Lance Ripka, and I believe you're downstairs with a runner-up, Eric Beller.
Yes, sir. The number 4, Eric Beller, almost got it done tonight. I'll have to settle for 2nd place. Congratulations on a hard-fought 2nd place, Eric.
Thank you, man. I gave it all I had there the last couple laps, but I'm very happy with P2 with the luck I've had the last few weeks. I'll take it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you might have gave it more than you had, Eric. Second last lap. Trying everything you can. The car just too tight, would not cooperate. Catch a piece of the wall there. Well, actually, run up on a lap car. Is that what happened?
Yeah, it was definitely really tight off 4, and I think coming to the white is when I smacked the wall there. I was just trying to give it. Yeah, the lap car on the last lap was there, but I don't think I could have made the pass even if the lap car wasn't there. I was just so tight off 4 and had to just ease off the throttle a little bit. So.
Well, tonight you got a good starting spot in 4th. A little better start than the University of Kentucky in March Madness, I'm just saying, Eric. Jared, an alum there, he doesn't want to admit it, but we'll out him. Tough night for them. But you're going to put this car up here in 2nd and maybe brighten the day of some of these guys. Have yourself a good points night. Now, you're not running a full schedule here, so is it checkers or wreckers out here, Eric?
Oh, I run the full schedule on the Sunday nights. It's just the other nights that I'm not able to race due to work. So, and on the UK side of things, this is a UK football scheme, not basketball. So,
fair enough.
No.
I gotcha, Eric. Well, it's a hell of a run, man. And we go to Richmond now. You know, you're in a bit of a roll here with this finish. How are you feeling about Richmond?
I like Richmond, but I mean, you never know. Anything can happen there, and it can happen quick. So just stay out of trouble and keep your nose clean.
Yeah,
and qualify up front.
Yeah, qualifying always huge, Eric. Any keys to qualifying there at Richmond?
Well, the key for me is to not smack the wall. That's where I have my issues sometimes, and just keep it off the wall, man. You hit that wall just a little bit, man, just takes your lap away. iracing, gotta love it.
Absolutely. You actually do gotta love it. Nothing like it, Eric. So we all have our little complaints, but man, I love this thing, and I'm sure you love it. Racing out here with the boys, putting this car in second place. Congratulations again. And anybody you want to shout out, you go right ahead, my friend.
Shout out to old Darren Bruce there. He run a heck of a race. Congratulations to him. I want to shout out my teammate J-Man and Mr. Todd Gilly. Man, I'm still bummed he didn't get that win last Sunday, but it's coming for him, man. He's going to get one.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get one, Jared. We touched on it a little bit. Gilly just missing out last week, and now Beller just misses out this week, and that transfers us right to you.
Yeah, I'm down here in Victory Lane. Darren Bruce, second win of the year, climbing out of the car. Congratulations on the win tonight, Darren.
Hey, thanks a lot, Jared.
Man, what a race. I don't even know where to start, but let's start with the beginning. You got to the front pretty quickly. I mean, you took over around lap 12 right before that caution came out. Did you just have a feel for this track right off the bat, or did you just get out there and come to you like that?
I think it was a deal of trying to stick to the bottom. I think probably middle up, maybe it was fast for a few laps, but I think if you stuck to the bottom over a while, the tire saving would pay off after about 12, 15 laps.
Well, you were dominant. You didn't get challenged much, but you did have a couple challengers here and there. Adam Newton was up there battling with you, and then you had a caution come out. Got on and off pit road very quickly. Was that the key to your race, being the first guy off pit road, controlling those restarts?
Oh, yeah. That automatically gives you advantage anytime you can control a restart.
You did a good job there, and talk us a little bit about the track. I mean, we saw guys running up against the wall. We saw guys running in the middle. We saw guys running the bottom. It seemed like you were committed to what I call the Dean Doucette line, which is, aim for the white line, drive straight off. Was that your key to the race all night?
You got it. You hit it right on the head. I kind of stuck to that, and once I got in clean air, it made it a lot easier. It's like if you ever get in clean air and get just a little bit out front where you can do your own thing. It's kind of like running downhill. It just gets easier. Well,
Darren, you made it look easy, but I'd got to ask. I don't think the end of that race was very easy. You had to save a little fuel, didn't you?
Oh, man, I didn't know if I was going to make it or not. I talked to Eric there in the waiting room. He said he had plenty of gas, but mine started sputtering as soon as I came out of four, and it was dead by the time I got to the line. I knew it was going to be cutting close. I saved all I could, but whenever he came up behind me pushing, he made me go harder than I wanted to. But we was lucky to make it to the end.
Well, Darren, you got your second victory of the year. You move up in points right there on the tail end of everybody else in front of you there. We move on to Richmond next week, and I've raced you quite a bit in my time on iRacing, and I know you're good at the short tracks. Are you looking forward to Richmond?
I hate to say this, but I'm gonna be going to the beach next week, so I'm gonna miss next week. But I'm gonna be tuning in. I'm gonna be watching.
Well, there you go. So the competition will be happy that you're not going to be out there next week, Darren. But hey, great win. Getting your second win of the year. I'm going to turn over to you and let you have the last word on your race here and give out any shots you got out there, man.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for doing the broadcast. You guys do a super great job. I love watching them. I want to thank my Spear teammates. We talk in the chat, all during the race about strategy and what to do and how to handle it, and that helps out a lot. And I want to thank Nathan Hardy for giving me a push back to the start-finish line after the race was over so I could be there in victory lane. I didn't have enough gas to make it back, and I always want to thank my wife, Leah, for letting me do this, and shout out to the grandkids. We're going to see them next week, too.
Well, there you have it, Dean. Darren Bruce grabbing the victory, and he gets to go on vacation next week. I don't know what else you could ask for.
Yeah, it's almost like, what are you doing after winning this race? I'm going to Disney World, So Darren there taking a little vacay, and we talked to Scott Olson out there sipping a few Mai Tais tonight himself, or beer, and Darren will go do that as well. But like you said, opportunity for the rest of the field, Jared.
Yeah, you look at Richmond, it's a great track, really racy. I think you're going to see that outside line maybe come in a little bit. I don't know. I don't want to give away too much, but I think we're going to be looking for a really exciting race, and I'm going to be really excited to see who comes and goes in that race, just like we had tonight.
Yeah, great fields, great racing here. That's RGR Racing Xfinity Series, the Winston Xfinity Series, every Sunday, 9:10 p.m. Make sure you come and check it out. But for myself, Dean Doucette, and for Mr. Jared Carr, that's going to wrap it up here at Auto Club. The California Dream is over here tonight. We'll see you right here next time on Wind Tunnel